Hi Gemini, thank you very much for tuning into your May reading with me, Lorien. It's an absolute pleasure to bring you these readings every single month. You may notice that it's a little bit different. I did start the video. Mercury retrograde seems to be in very big force today because I had to do it about 5 times and then the beginning of the video just cut off and I don't know where it is. So I'm not going to reshuffle. These are the cards that you have for the month. And these are basically what we're going to look at. So apologies, you won't see me shuffle these cards on screen because that footage has gone into the mist of space. I don't know. But there we go. It's Mercury retrograde. What can you say? Just to make you aware, this is a general reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising. If you do have other aspects of your chart with, for instance, Sun and Moon, you do have to look at the other aspects of the videos, and they may give you a more rounded view as to what to expect this month. As well as private readings, I am available. For private readings, just go onto the link to my website and it'll take you straight to where you can purchase a reading from myself. As soon as I see the PayPal receipt, then I'll get you in the queue and I do it as quickly as possible. So it's always best to do it as early as possible for yourself, just in case. Also, if you do want a Patreon reading, all the additional readings that I do, they are on Patreon, and for as little as $1 a month, you can have a Patreon reading from me. Okay, so those include the rune readings every new moon and the full moon crystal readings and everything else that I do, sometimes romance readings as well. So let's take a look and see what information comes through. And also I'm going to be doing a rune at the end of this. So you have the Hanged Man, the Chariot, the Page of Cups, and also the Two of Swords. Excuse me. Alright, so let's just have a little bit of a look on here. Okay, so it seems as though there's a lot of kind of waiting on decisions at the beginning of May, which doesn't surprise me because we're still in Mercury retrograde. And it does feel as though there's quite a large kind of learning curve coming through for you this month. It's kind of like you will have to make a decision. First you're waiting on a decision, then you're making a decision, then you have to move forwards, and then you have to kind of maybe force yourself into a kind of stalemate. What I can feel here is this is very much connected to your emotions. Now, I know somebody had an issue recently with the fact that these are general readings. I don't do it for career, love, the kind of different aspects of it, as I suppose you could say. I don't do it like that. What I focus on is what the energies are coming through for you and how you can interpret them into get your best good in all areas of your life. So if you are waiting on a loved one, if you're waiting on a promotion, interview, creative spark, basically this means you. Excuse me, I don't know what it is, but whenever I start reading now, I just seem to get like this little cough that comes through. So I'm wondering whether it's kind of my throat chakra that needs to be sort of cleared up. Maybe I'm going to start channeling a bit more. But I think this energy actually, that's not unrelated. This energy is actually saying you need to channel some of that energy. Because you're a really good communicator, Gemini. Just sometimes you don't feel like you can really communicate your feelings all that well. Because it may be that you have some anxiety about how you can present yourself or whether people do like you, stuff like that. But this particular gentleman who is hanging upside down, I think he has a very unique view of the world. He has a very good feeling about him to me, because it seems as though there's so much within him that he can learn from this position. Now, nobody likes hanging around, nobody likes being kind of topsy-turvy and having to rely on other people, but I feel that's just a place of the game that you're in. You have to kind of wait and see what information comes to you, what the next step is. You have to be given the green light to move forward with it, basically. So I don't feel that you can change much in this week. It just feels as though you're kind of biding your time. Maybe make sure that you feel good and your energy is okay. But other than that, I just think that you just have to kind of grit your teeth and get on with this week, to be perfectly honest, because it just feels as though you are quite, in the midst of the moment and very much sort of lingering presence, to be honest. And then things start to heat up a little bit. So with this particular one, it seems to come through as quite a strong charge force. You may need to kind of decide what direction or combine two directions, but it gives you the green light basically. This is about judgment of yourself and of the path ahead. It's kind of saying to make sure you're going inwards a little bit to decide which is your best path and then start forwards. It's no use having a scattered energy. Please direct your energy onto something that means the most to you. If you want a solution, you need to direct your energy towards creating a solution. If it's a career, similarly, you have to direct your energy towards creating that marvelous career that you have in store for yourself. So please don't feel like it's too much or too little too late or anything like that. This is always saying that despite any delays, you are going to have the opportunity to surge forwards and actually claim the rightful path which is yours. And there you should get some really good emotional messages from this. You should actually get some good news, something that stirs you emotionally. Also, within this card, I always remember when I was reading the descriptions of these, it was almost like saying that you are going to be encouraged to take a chance. You may be naive in the path that you choose because you're new to it, because you've never dealt with it before, you're not sure to what to expect, and it's kind of like falling in love for the first time. You don't really know what to expect from the whole thing. Take that chance, take that risk, get a bit adventurous. You may be invited on this adventure. And I think that this is going to be kind of feeding you, in a way, feeding you soul food, feeding you a sense of, right, yeah, I know what I'm doing, this is good, and actually getting into a groove for yourself. And I feel this is going to be something incredibly tenacious for you. And I almost feel like, sometimes Geminis do not deal with emotions, granted, but I have a Gemini moon and I'm a Scorpio, so I have no choice but to deal with emotions. And I just think that this is kind of like you have an ability to gain something here. You have the ability to go forwards and grab what you need and grab what you can. I feel as though this is more towards career, but I just feel that this emotion is kind of like you're reborn in a way. You're kind of shouting to the rooftops. You're being able to kind of claim what you need to do, and you're fresh in it. There is a freshening thing here, but it will lead to the Two of Swords, which is kind of like a stalemate. So within this new beginning and within this new path, you may have to divide your energies and you may have to compromise a little bit. So if you have, for instance, 3 things on the go, you may have to kind of devote less time to one of them to focus on this new path and yourself in this. You may have to even lose a little bit of money if it's your career. You may have to compromise that way. You may also have to just kind of eat a bit of humble pie a little bit and say, okay, well, I don't know everything. Maybe, you can teach me, oh, person who's offering me this. So it just has to be something that you feel comfortable in doing, but also kind of understanding that this isn't just kind of, sealed and done. And, there's a lot of learning to be done here. There's a lot of progress and it will result in some compromises. You may feel as though some of the compromises you cannot do, but for most of it, I think that you'll be absolutely fine. And I think that you'll realize that these changes are necessary and this sacrifice is necessary, or this compromise. And you will just kind of move on with it and get on with it and see the results of it. Because for the most part, you have a brilliant spread here. This is all about something that's coming through to tell you that there's expansion, that there's newness, that there's something that you can really enjoy coming up. Just have to pay attention to the signs. You just have to make sure that you feel emotionally ready. I mean, some of you may not be, but it's just about taking the chance all the same, recognizing that you're naive, recognizing that it might not be everything you expect, but still being prepared to go through in the first place anyway. So I'm just going to get a rune, and I do choose these with my eyes closed, so if everything goes everywhere, I apologise. Alright, so let's see, what does Gemini need to know? You're the first one I grabbed, so let's see. Oh, okay, so we've got Ewes, which is trustworthiness, protection, motivation, and defense. So, to be perfectly honest, this seems to kind of tune in with the rest of the reading. You probably will need a bit of protection and motivation to kind of go along this path. I also feel that you probably would need protection for the vulnerability that you may feel occasionally on this path too, because you may feel as though, oh no, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to just be exposed to the elements and stuff. Just make sure that you read the fine print of anything that you know, even metaphorically. If you get somebody coming through saying, hi, lovely, and you know, seems too good to be true, do check it, because sometimes they are too good to be true. Just check that. But I would say that above all else, this does seem to be kind of like a clarity of thought. You need to be very aware of what you expect and also what is the reality, because sometimes our expectations just kind of overrule all the reality. Like, I'm going to win the lottery, and when I do, it's going to be £15 million. Like, you know, it's not going to be that sort of stuff. That's kind of an exaggeration, but we need to be very grounded in reality this month. And I think that that's the Taurus way. And then as soon as at the end of May, because for some of you it may be a birthday celebration, and happy birthday if that is the case. I do have birthday readings available on the website if you want to check. But it just seems as though you are going to have a state of new being, a state of new perspectives. And I'm really excited because obviously this relates to me being a Gemini moon, but if you do have double Gemini, or if you have like Gemini sun, I think this is really going to be focused in on you, to be honest. But I wish you all the very best of luck. What have you got planned in May? Is there anything that you want to change, or are you sensing this new beginning coming through? What are you waiting for? Do let me know. I always love to hear from you in the comments below, and I really would enjoy to have that kind of conversation with you. Thank you as always for liking, subscribing and sharing. Again, if you want a reading, click the link below, or support me on Patreon to get the additional readings for as little as $1. And yeah, I wish you the very best. I'm looking forward to reading for you in your birthday month of June. And for now, I will love you and leave you, and take care of yourself.